Hey guys, Matt Gardner here. Today I'm going to demonstrate the Carenado PA46T Malibu Jetprop. We're in some stormy conditions, as you can see, so we'll be flying with the instrument rating. And we will be flying, we're in a small little airport in Washington, and hopefully there's enough runway for this thing to take off. But we'll be flying ILS to Holcomb, Washington at the Bowerman Field, and the call sign for Bowerman is KHQM. And we'll go ahead and climb aboard. Here we are. Everybody in? Okay. Let's start. Make this fast. Let's get the master switch on. You want to check both batteries. Make sure we got 24 volts in both. Set to both. And we're going to move this yoke to make things a little faster here. Let's go in. Let's make sure our parking brake is on. Panel lights, give us some lights here. Check our fuel, both tanks are equal, so we'll go ahead and switch it to tank on the left. And let's, while we're here, let's set our trim. Definitely want our trim set. Let's zoom in a little bit here to our neutral position. A lot of times I like to keep a little bit up because it has the tendency to climb pretty sharp, but this being a short runway as it is, I need it to climb pretty sharp here. And we'll just adjust the trim as we climb out of here. Okay, so there's not going to be much for visual. We probably won't even be looking out the windows. Once I get above these trees, everything's going to be fogged in, and we'll be flying by our instruments only. This time we'll go ahead and put on some lights as required. And we'll start our engines. Pump 2, ignition on, starter. Throttle conditioner level all the way up. And we should start. Pump off. Ignition off. And we'll set our ignition auto, and we'll turn the generator on. Let's go ahead and open our oil door. Open. And everything looks good there. Test all our emergency warning lights. Right now, these lights show you when you have any kind of issues, and we're showing that our pitted heat is off, which is okay. That's right here, and that's fine as long as we're not in freezing temperature. So let's go back here, and we'll go ahead and turn on our radio master. And we're showing 15 degrees Celsius, so that's good. GPS, I'll take the topo off. And I'll set our heading bug straight ahead. And let's go ahead and turn on our radios. Communication, navigation radio on. Radio 1. Radio 2 on. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and set the ILS frequency for Holcomb Airport. And let me grab that frequency real fast. And if you're looking for frequencies, you can go to airnav.com. great site. Just type in the airport and you can bring up all the information on that airport. So the ILS frequency for Holcomb is 108.7 for runway 24. And go ahead and set that. And that's set. And we'll turn on a signal that'll let us know when we get in range. Nav 1. And that'll send out a kind of a Morse code letting us know that we're in range. And at this time we'll go ahead and unmute our markers. So if we hit enter and outer markers, it'll give us a signal that we're at the airport. And let's go ahead and test our weather radar. As you can see, there was some weather out there. Go ahead and test it. And then we'll turn it to on and select a range. And this might not show until we get up into altitude here. Transponder set to on.
Kilo Hotel Quebec flight traffic. Cessna November 52 Kilo Alpha is 17 miles east inbound ILS. Runway 24.
Check all our co-pilot gauges, make sure everything's good. Let's see. We want to check here. Barometric pressure. One second here, and that's going to show right here in the middle bar. So, we'll set your barometric pressure by pushing B on the keyboard. Set your barometric pressure, adjust your altitude. Aircraft's altitude is just above their barometric pressure. So, distance to our airport is 39.4 nautical miles. We're going to climb to 4,500 feet, and this is our GPS direction to our airport. And we're set up for VOR for ILS instrument landing. So once we get in range, we'll be using this to land on a runway, and this is already set. We can adjust it, but it's set for runway 24. It's set in that direction. Let's go ahead. Course select again. Make sure we're set for 124, and that'll give us an idea where our runway is and lining up with it. And we'll go back to GPS for now. Okay, what are we missing? Okay, so our autopilot three-way master switch. Make sure all the way up or your autopilot will not work. And you can see it lit up over here. So we want to engage and disengage that. You'll hear a tone when it's disengaged, and that means autopilot is disengaged. So that's what we want for takeoff. Don't want to fight the autopilot on takeoff. And once we line up with the runway, we will reset our heading bug, and that's our autopilot will follow that. So once we set that on after takeoff, it'll stay true to that heading. And now we're showing our barometric up here. Everything's working. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our taxi lights. And we'll turn on some cabin lights for now. Here we go. Make sure everybody's buckled in, seats are upright position and ready to go. And you guys don't want to see the takeoff? Okay, no problem. Oh, you don't want people to see who you are? Okay. It's all good. Alright, and we will taxi to our runway.
Hotel Quebec flight traffic. Cessna November 52 Kilo Alpha is 9 miles east inbound ILS. Runway 24.
Okay, let's reset our heading bug. And this time we'll want to set our flaps. Degrees. Good to check our voltage while we're here, and our engine trim. Make sure it matches our fuel. And there's our date and time stamp, and also our analog voltage, 17 volts. Our torque, foot-pounds, very important. We'll be monitoring this a lot during the flight, and so when your throttle goes up, this is going to tell you exactly where your throttle position is. Usually around 550 is cruise. Takeoff, it's going to probably go up here in the red a little bit. We'll bring it back to around 13 for takeoff, if everything works out good here. And then we want to roll our, this is our airspeed analog and digital, and so around 80 knots, 90 knots we want to be leaving the ground here. It says a short runway, so we don't have much room to play here. And we're going to announce takeoff. Departing to the north.
7 Whiskey 1 traffic, Piper Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel, taking on runway 10, departure to the north.
And we're off, we'll see you there. Landing gear up. Watch the heading. A little bit of wind. Lower the nose. Watch your airspeed. You don't want to stall at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on autopilot heading. Lower the nose, gain a little more airspeed. Adjusting trim. And flaps up.
140 traffic, Cherokee 5 Kilo Charlie, 10 miles.
We want to, at this time, there a yellow damper on. ahead and declutter our GPS. I'm going to climb to 4,500 feet. Watch your airspeed. At which point we'll level off. Run heading hold at this point. And you can see our weather here in front of us. And so we will hit our altitude as soon as we hit 4,500 feet. At which time we'll bring our throttle back to about 5,500 torque. In the blind here. So it's definitely instrument rated flying today. Go ahead and start turning to bank it to our left. Line up with our GPS, and we'll want to watch your airspeed and altitude here. We're almost at our altitude. It's going to start trying to drop and pull back a little bit here to bring it up, and we'll lock in at 4,500. Boom. And so we're on full autopilot now. And we'll start backing off our throttle. Down to 4,500, and we're showing 4,600 here. Let's go ahead and fix that. Altitude, just 4,500, and press B on your keyboard and make sure your barometric pressure is set. Altitude 4,500 set. Barometric. Checking the warning gauges over here. Make sure everything's working. Weather. So we're on heading hold and altitude hold. And 35 nautical miles out from Holcomb Airport. Cabin pressure's good. And we'll start setting our trim. Prop speed, I'm going to lower our prop speed to around 2040 to 2020. And that's good for now. We'll bring our fuel conditioner back a little bit. It's going to put us in our range here around 550s. Anywhere in that area is good. It's going to save on our fuel. And also at this time we burned a good bit of fuel on the takeoff, so we want to balance our tanks. We're 63 on this tank, 69 on this tank. Go ahead and switch to our right tank. Start burning off on that tank. And everything's looking good, and we'll check with our passengers. We'll go ahead and turn off our lights. Off. Turn this one on. It's a nighttime light for panels. Turn that on for now. It's pretty gloomy out. And we'll check on everybody. You guys okay back there? Oh, cocktail hour. Okay. There you go. Let's go ahead and check our distance. Set up our VOR. So we'll be landing in this direction. Runway 24. So we're going to want to swing out this direction and then come out. We'll go ahead this time and change our heading by moving the heading button. Autopilot will automatically direct us in that direction. As you can see, we're swinging this direction. And that signal tells us that we have picked up our VOR. Nav 1. And since that gets kind of irritating, we'll turn that off. We now know that we are picked up in our glide scope. Their ILS system is working.
140 traffic here. 5 Kilo Charlie, it's clear on the runway.
Otherwise, with this kind of visibility, we would, if that was not working, we would have to find another airport that was working. Because we absolutely cannot see anything. Very important. We're at 4,500 feet, airspeeds 148 nautical miles an hour. You can see where our distance is from our airport. Welcome, we're 24 nautical miles out. So we're basically totally relying on these instruments. It's always good to check your analog with your digital. Make sure everything shows the same altitude. The same with the co-pilot. Make sure he's showing the same thing you are over here. I'm going to try and locate our airport on radio nav, on our radio. And we'll kind of start announcing our position. Here's our runway airport right here. So we'll tune to welcome traffic and we'll select our runway for landing, runway 24. And we'll go ahead and announce that we're planning a full stop.
Hotel Quebec flight traffic, Cessna 8 Bravo Alpha at 15 miles east inbound ILS, runway 2.
a Cessna in front of us. He's 15 miles east inbound, same runway. And we'll go ahead and announce our position.
Hotel Quebec Mike, traffic, Viper Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel, code 1 miles, south 4,500, inbound to land, runway code 4.
A little bit of rain here.
Hotel Quebec Mike, traffic, Viper November 4874116 miles east inbound ILS, runway code 4.
Go ahead and turn on our lights. Taxi and landing lights. And let's see our position here. 18 nautical miles. Zoom in a little bit here. Looks good. Always check your barometric pressure.
Hotel Quebec Mike, traffic, Cessna 8 Bravo Alpha is 11 miles.
Glide scope is starting to drop. It should go back up as we reach out here in our distance, and we also need to bring our altitude down. Our Jepson map shows that we should be approaching at 2,300 feet. Again, you can get that information on airnap.com. This time I'll turn on the topo to check for mountain ranges. Anything that's kind of red or bright would indicate we're at that height of running into a mountain.
Viper November 487411612 miles east inbound ILS.
Green is lower. Since we seem to be clear here, I'm going to go ahead and lower altitude. Back off our throttle. Go ahead and take it down to 2,300 feet. Which you can see up here. And here. Just keep an eye on your warning lights, make sure they're working.
Hotel Quebec Mike, traffic, Cessna 8 Bravo Alpha is 7 miles.
And we'll check our fuel again.
ILS, runway 24.
66, this tank's fuller, so we'll stay where we're at. And let everybody know that we're lining up to land. And it's time to put everything away here. Oh, you want to watch the landing? Getting brave out here. Okay.
Hotel Quebec Mike,
Not much to watch.
Inbound ILS, runway 24.
And this time we're going to go ahead and set our nav hold. And autopilot will automatically direct the aircraft to line up with our runway. And I'm going to go ahead and start in that direction by turning us somewhat of a 90 degree. As you can see, we're turning now. There's no way of telling from the outside. Pretty much in the fog out there. You can tell by our screens here and here.
Hotel Quebec flight traffic, Cessna 8 Bravo Alpha is 3 miles
We're in, yeah.
inbound ILS, runway 24.
12 miles out, we'll go ahead and announce our position again.
Hotel Quebec flight traffic, Piper Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel, 13 miles southeast, 2,400 inbound to land, runway 24.
And we're going to level off at 2,300 feet. So we want to bring our airspeed back up. Again, we want to hit around 55 torque pounds.
Elon Hotel Quebec flight traffic, Piper November 48741 is 6 miles east inbound ILS, runway 24.
Hope nobody's getting airsick here. Be kind of daunting for the first time. Check our navigational signal just to make sure we're still locked on and not in another frequency. Should hear the Morse code again. And we have it. Okay. So our plane is actually directing itself. As you can see, the ILS navigation is lining us up with the runway. In case we have to make a misapproach, we are giving our glide scope, so I'm going to hit approach now, and we'll pick up on the our glide scope will lock into. Glide slope, I say scope for some reason. Glide slope is going to lock in, and we will want to watch our airspeed and bring this back down. Bring our throttle back down. So we lock into our glide slope. And we are on approach to the runway. Now it's position 7 miles.
For Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel, 7 miles, 2,100 inbound to land, runway 24.
Let's keep bringing our airspeed down. And our outer marker is showing we're closing in on our airport. We'll see if we can see anything out there. Nothing showing. Let's bring our airspeed down some more here, and we'll go ahead and set our flaps 10%. Watch our airspeed and landing gear down. Bring our throttle back up a little. Let's keep us within 90 nautical miles. Flaps 20 degrees. Check landing gear, make sure all 3 lights are illuminated. Good. This time we want to bring our prop and fuel position lever all the way up. And airspeed up. And again, we're going to go back airspeed to about 550 torque. And that's good. 555 is actually perfect. And we'll go ahead and lower our full flaps. And we'll announce that we're on final.
Traffic light for Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel is on final. Runway 24 to land.
Very important to monitor your airspeed all times. You can see our altitude. We're dropping about 600 feet. It's following our glide slope. We'll line up with our runway, and in case we have to do a misapproach, we want to line up our heading bug. That way we can easily bell out and line back up with our autopilot. And I'm starting to see some vegetation down here. So we're homing in on our airport really fast, and here it is. And as soon as we get visual, we want to turn off our autopilot, disengage, and now we have full control of the aircraft. And we're down. Flaps up. Damper off. And lights off. Let's exit runway. Announce that we're clear of runway.
Kilo Hotel Quebec Mike. Traffic Piper Delta Echo Oscar Victor Hotel is clear of the runway.
Turn off our autopilots. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, let's see, here we are. Turn that off. We're using the Steam Edition, the Orbx add-on for Holcomb Airport. And we'll be pulling up to Lana's restaurant here. Lana's Cafe. And we have a fan club waiting for us out in the rain here. Thanks guys for flying with me. It was fun. Glad I got you home safe.